Today, I die for my people.
There must be thousands of them. We will face death and defend our home. Tradition, courage, honor. They are what make us. We are the warriors of Tsushima. We are samurai! You have no honor, and you are a slave to it.
What happened to turn these two, uncle and nephew, almost father and son, against each other? It was honor and dishonor. Today we'll be looking at honor in Ghost of Tsushima and how Jin breaks his code for friends, family, and his people.
I must start a new family, and my head is the cost. Taking it is my punishment.
Ghost of Tsushima is an open-world game developed by Sucker Punch Productions. The game is set in feudal Japan, and during the Mongolian invasion of Japan on the island of Tsushima. Our protagonist is Jin Sakai, who's a samurai from a royal family. But what this game does great is throughout the game, Jin starts to question the meaning of honor and how important it is. We're going to look at the theme of honor and dishonor and how it really plays a role in Ghost of Tsushima. To start, already this scene shows how important honor is in samurai and Japanese culture in these times. You know, they're going to go charge at an army with about 80 samurai, so it's just the honorable thing to do.
Tradition, courage, honor. They are what make us. We are the warriors of Tsushima. We are samurai!
I wanted to talk about how the game was received. I mean, this game really received praise. It won Game of the Year, and even in Japan, it was received really well. In Japan, the game sold out in less than a week. So yeah, it really had great reception from the people who bought it, and even critics were saying this is a great game. Story, gameplay especially, is one of Sucker Punch's strong suits. Here we can really see how honor is really a big thing for samurais. Here we have Lord Adachi, and he's just going into the enemy lines just all by himself and just wanting to face their best warrior, which is an honorable thing to do, but really in a war, you're gonna not do well with that. I mean, and we'll see what happens to him here.
I am Harunobu Adachi, descendant of the legendary Yoshinobu Adachi.
I mean, you can even see here, the samurai are offered to surrender, which, I mean, it could be a good idea when they are severely outnumbered, but they denounce them because they denounce the enemy because of their lack of honor, which makes sense, and they just charge into battle. The antagonist in Ghost of Tsushima is just the entire Mongolian Empire and the invaders. But you can also look at the leader, who is Khotun Khan, and he is a great villain because he really shows the contrast between the Mongols and the Japanese army, because he'll really do whatever it takes to win a fight or a battle when the samurais really are more affected by honor. And he really has an effect on Jin later in the game, and he's kind of what pushes Jin over the edge to break his code of honor.
Brother, you are a warrior. I can
Lord Shimura is teaching Jin how to fight, and he's making sure Jin understands that as a samurai, you need to fight with discipline and honor.
He's big.
And even if your opponent uses dirty tactics or trickery, you have to still fight with a code of honor and not be dishonorable. This is interesting later in the story when Jin kind of does whatever it takes to win a battle.
Now, break.
There's great side characters in Ghost of Tsushima as well.
Lord Shimura is my
To list
uncle.
some, there's Yuna, Lord Shimura, Ishikawa, Masako, Taka, Ryuzo, Kenji, and Norio. And these all get introduced throughout the game, and they all have their own kind of side quests throughout the game. So Sucker Punch really did a great job of giving them each their spotlight. But my favorite would definitely be Yuna, because she's a great side character, a great female character, and she really has great connections with Jin when they have to save her brother Taka. And she also kind of helps Jin turn and kind of abandon his code of honor just for the good of the people of Tsushima.
Then help him drive the Mongols into the sea.
Lord Shimura is making sure Jin understands what the code of honor really means. And he asks Jin, what does honor mean to you?
Our families
And
have lived
Jin
by
says,
code.
protecting people that can't protect
Tell
themselves,
these virtues to
which
guide us.
is definitely a good way to think about it, but
Loyalty to our Lord.
honor really is
Control over our
also protecting
emotions.
people, but also serving and showing an example of integrity
Honor.
and that you're not going to
Brave
fight dirty. You need to set an
uphold the
example
legacy
for
of
your
Clan
people. And this is kind of foreshadowing because later we see Jin protect people, but not with much integrity.
What does honor mean to you?
I guess protecting people. The ones who can't fight for themselves.
You have a good heart. But first, we must show everyone that we serve our Lord with courage, integrity, and self-control.
You say that like it's easy.
It's never easy, Jin. I struggle with it every day. But we must set an example for our people by remaining true to our code and to ourselves. That is the meaning of honor.
Ghost of Tsushima is a very pretty game. Here you have the shot on the beach, and it is an open world game, and it's really nice. It's not linear. You can kind of go over about the game how you want while still having to follow certain story quests. But the environment, the nature, it's all very pretty in this game. The smart thing to do here would be just to sneak in and do what Yuna said. But at this point in the story, Jin is still following his code of honor, so he just goes in at the front door, which does work out, but it could have gone badly.
Face me, invader!
Not your state.
My personal reaction was that this game was great. The characters were definitely very good, especially the side characters, because you have the great protagonist and antagonist, but sometimes getting good side characters can be challenging. And the ending was great, and I think giving the player choices was definitely a good idea. And I would recommend this game because open world games are some of my favorite. They give you such good liberty to do whatever you want, really. And who would benefit from playing this game? I'd say in the age demographic of like 12 to anywhere like 20, because even this game is great at being kind of educational, because a lot of the stuff about feudal Japan and samurais is mentioned in this game, and it's definitely accurate. From when you take a socials class, you definitely can connect it. So it's definitely great at being a great open world game, but also being educational at the same time.
This never should have happened.
Here, Jin is infiltrating a castle to save his uncle, and he's walking up to the front door, which I understand why he's doing it. It's his code of honor, but that cannot go well. You're gonna walk in the front door with Yuna, two people against the whole castle. I mean, it was really risky, and Jin almost lost his life for it.
Wait here until I finish them. I've come for Lord Shimura.
Save yourself.
talking about the developer of Sucker Punch, they're really kind of, they haven't done much in terms of games. They have another game series called Infamous, and they've made multiple games, and those are very good. But Ghost of Tsushima is definitely their best game they've made so far. But I do have criticism about Ghost of Tsushima, and the main one would be the equipment system in the game and how armor and your weapons work. Because you can get a set of armor early on and a sword early on that's very good by doing certain quests, and at that point you unlock different armor later, but there's no point of swapping. So I wish they kind of rewarded the player or gave the player an incentive to kind of change up their sets they use throughout the game.
Now then, let's see you defend against a spear.
Here, Jin is gonna break his code of honor for the first time. And this really shows how he cares for Yuna, because he's doing this to save Yuna's brother. And you can tell Jin really feels bad about what he's done. In this scene, an assassin was sent to kill Lord Shimura, and in response, he makes Jin kill him. And essentially here, he's just making sure Jin understands that when he kills people as a samurai, he needs to face the enemy head on, look them in the eye, and also that only cowards strike from the shadows, and that as a samurai, he has to set the example to his people.
And respect. This is what makes us samurai. Only cowards strike from the shadows.
Jin, what's wrong?
Let's find your brother.
And here, Jin again breaks his code of honor, and you can see he's feeling bad about it, and he's thinking, oh, what is my uncle gonna think about me?
Courage. Only cowards strike from the shadows.
Forgive me, Uncle.
I read that
Here, Khochin Khan is talking to Lord Shimura about Jin and how he's been killing his men from behind and not being honorable. And obviously Lord Shimura doesn't want to believe that. And it's a really long scene, but that's essentially the summary of it.
Who we truly are. It has made you a dog, unleashed by your cousin Kublai to rape and pillage at his command. I heard of your exploits while I was in prison. Your methods were brutal, impulsive, without honor.
I did what I had to. For you.
I know, Jin. And I will be forever in your debt. But you can't continue down this path.
Now that Lord Shimura is reunited with Jin, one of the first things he talks about is him essentially straying from his code of honor, because it's really a big part of their lives as samurai. And it's really a contrast between later in the game. Right now, Lord Shimura isn't really worried, but later on he'll become more strict and angry with
I
Jin.
will grant it when the seas are clear. But only if she helps me retake my castle.
Thank you, Uncle.
We ride within the hour.
Yes, Lord Shimura.
Here, Jin has just defeated one of the Mongol war commanders, and he essentially, after doing that, decapitates him right in front of his men. And he does this to send fear to the soldiers who just stand there and take it, which is really not the honorable thing to do.
Poison has never been the Sakai way.
Here, Jin is asking Yuriko to make him essentially poison that he can use on the Mongols that are invading. And obviously she questions that that's not the Sakai thing to do and it's not honorable. And Jin raises a good point that, you know, they are in a war and they just need to do whatever they can to protect the island of Tsushima. So of course Jin is really kind of looked down upon for doing it, but you can understand from his point of view why he does it.
Blowgun and darts. I've read of their use by a Genji warrior who studied with monks from the west. Will you help me?
Promise me you'll remain the good man I know.
I promise.
I've looked after your every need.
Jin.
Lord Shimura is going to actually adopt Jin after the war, but he's really making sure that Jin understands that he can't keep going down the path he's going to be the heir to all of the stuff that Lord Shimura has. So he's really trying to make sure Jin can change before the end of the war.
I won't disappoint you, Uncle.
In this scene, Khotun and Ryuzo are talking about samurai and their code of honor, which makes them predictable and easy to counter. But they talk about Jin and how he uses better tactics that are unpredictable, which are maybe a bit brutal, but it's war and he does what he has to do.
Run home, Japanese dogs! This gate will not open for you!
Jin uses his poison darts as a distraction to kill the Mongol commander. He kills him from behind, and of course, Lord Shimura is not happy with him. Lord Shimura is still trying to make Jin fight with honor, while Jin is really only focused on winning the battle by doing whatever it takes.
Clearing the way. Not like that. Never like that. Face them as a warrior with honor, not a monster. It's all they understand. Terror is not the weapon of a samurai. No, that tower! They'll block our advance! This is your chance, Lord Sakai. Destroy their weapon with honor. I will hold the line and draw their fire!
I'm coming with you.
Stay close. The Mongols are on the defensive. We will strike before they regroup and end this war tomorrow.
You sent our men to die.
They are soldiers.
Their blood is on our hands. I can find a way past the bridge. Poison the enemy.
An act of terror.
I am trying
Lord
to save our
Shimura
people.
is really shocked
To fear us.
when he hears Jin say he'll poison the enemy.
Continue down this path.
And it really disappoints Lord Shimura
No better than
because
the Mongols.
when he trained Jin early on in his life, he always taught him to obey the code of honor of a samurai.
On the beach.
And Jin will say that his honor died on Komona Beach, which makes sense because the Mongols really obliterated them in that first battle. So it makes sense that Jin had to change his battle strategy.
No. We're finished.
You're going to poison the Mongols.
I'll find a way into the castle, then slip it into their drinks. Watch the Khan choke.
The scene's a great comparison to earlier in the game, where Jin was barely even willing to kill one person without honor, but now he's gonna poison the whole Mongol army.
Now to wait.
이 넥바스타 두개!
Jin poisoning the Mongols here really shows how his character has changed from the start of the game. And even though it's not honorable what he's doing, it's really an effective way, and it really works out in the end.
Another will come.
Jin finally completes his goal. He kills Khotun Khan, stops the Mongol invasion, then he saves his people. Even though he lost his code of honor, he ultimately accomplished what he set out to do.
No, you will be forgotten.
The Shogun has disbanded Clan Sakai. As of today, you are no longer samurai.
I sacrificed everything for my people. And I would do it again.
Even though Jin lost everything, his estate, his samurai status, he would obviously do it all again because ultimately he made all those choices to save his people and his land. So even though Jin will be looked at as a bad person for what he did, he really should be a hero for what he did.
Ride with me. The Shogun has declared you a traitor.
He ordered you to kill me.
The ghost was an outlaw.
And it's really unfortunate for Jin that he's essentially being sentenced to death for what he did, even though he really was a big part of saving his people.
Throwing away our people's lives.
You have no honor.
And you are a slave to it.
I must start a new family.
And my head is the cost.
You can tell that it really hurts Lord Shinra to have to kill Jin, who is essentially his son, but he is a loyal servant to the Shogun, and he's really a servant to a code of honor, so he has to do it above all else.
Our final day together. It is beautiful. It's time. Write the last words of Clan Sakai.
And Clan Shimura.
Honor me with a warrior's death.
I have no honor. But I will not kill my family.
The ghost will be hunted for the rest of his days.
I know.
To conclude, even though there's 2 endings in this game, this is the candid one. Throughout the game, Jin will break his code of honor in many ways. But throughout, the reason he does it is to protect his family, his friends, and his people. Here, he doesn't kill Lord Shimura, because, of course, giving him the honorable death would be the right thing to do. But above all else, he values family